Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Kanitha Silat. Chapter 24. The Picnic Hug on the Track. The first thing Tom heard on Friday morning was a great piece of news. Young teacher's family had come back to town. He saw Becky with a crowd of their schoolmates, and his delight was boundless when she told him that her mother had apprised the next day for the long delayed picnic invitations were sent out before sunset. Tom had hoped of hearing Huck's meow and of externizing begging and the picnic with the teacher the next day, but no sign of. By 10 o'clock the next morning, the guide company had gathered and young teachers, and everything was ready for a start. The children were put in charge of a few young teachers of the Sunday school. The furry a few young boys had been hired for all sections. Soon the jolly cow carrying baskets of food hurried up the main street. Their last thing Mr. Teacher said to Becky was, "You will not get back till late, child. Perhaps you better stay all night with some of the girls who live near the ferry landing. Then I will stay with Susie Harper, Mama," said Becky. As Tom Becky hurried along, Tom said, "I say I will tell you what we will do. Instead of going to Middle, perhaps we will climb light up the hill and stay at the window. Douglas, she will have lovely cake, and she too have us." "But what will Mama say?" said Becky hastily. However, the window Douglas high hers and Tom Peterson. Tom Becky and it was decided to say nothing to anybody about their new program. Soon it occurred to Tom that Huck might give the signal this very night, but the signal did not come the night before, so why should it be any more likely to come tonight? He determined not to allow himself to think of the box of money another time that day. 3 miles below town, that ferry boat was tied at the mouth of a little wooded valley. The crowd swarmed also games and arranged. Soon the forest edge far and wide with shouting and laughter followed. It's far and wide. Then came the destruction of the good things in there. Then come to destruction. Baskets. After the fast, there was a refreshing list and baskets. Talk in the chest. Presently somebody shoot who ready for the calf. Everybody was wonder of candles were produced, and at once everyone began to climb up the hill. The mouth of the calf was high up the high hillside. Its massive door stood unbroken. Inside was a small chamber as cool as an ice cheese, hung well by nature with solid limestone. Candles were lit, and the children made their way down a steep descent of a man path, which was not more than 8 or 10 feet wide. Then candle light dimly lit the arch roof overhead. every fell step. Two other narrower passed branches of one bird of twisting passes. No one knew the end of it. Most of the young men of village know a small part of it, and it was customary to go beyond this. The procession moved along the main avenue for about 3/4 of a mile, and then children began to slip aside into branch places and play hide and seek, taking each other by surprise where the places joined again. Finally, group come wandering back breathless, covered with care, and cattle dripping from the food, and entirely delighted with the success of the day. There was attention to find that the sun had set. The bell has been calling for half an hour. When the ferry boat with her merry passengers pushed into the river, nobody cared a straw, for was time but he captain. Huck was already watching when the ferry boat's lights went glittering past. He heard no noise on board, for the children were quiet as people who are tried out usually are. The light was growing cloudy and dark. Even o'clock came the neon lights were put out. Huck waited a very long time, but nothing happened. Why don't give it up and go to bed? A noise reached his ear. He sprang into the doorway. The next moment 2 men brushed by him, and one seemed to have something under his arm. It must be that box. So they were going to remove the treasure. Should he could Tom no. No, that would be silly. The man would get away and never be found again. He must follow the walk a short distance up the street reading. To the river, turn to the left, up across street, then they went straight ahead until they came to the path that led up Cardiff Hill. This they took halfway up the hill. They passed the house of the old wage band. Mr. John and still came upward among the tall brush. How short his distance now, for they would never be able to see him. He hurried on for the time and slowed down, fearing that he was getting too near them. He stopped and listened. He was about to spring on when a man cleared his throat not full feet from him. Huck's heart shot into his mouth, but she swallowed it again. He knew where he was, within 5 steps of the fence around window Douglas ground. Now there was a very low voice. Letkin Joe caught her. Perhaps she has got. There are lights or thought it's late. Yes, they must, because they better give it up then. This was the voice of stranger of the hunt house. Give it up, just when I am about to leave this country forever. Never, I tell you again. I don't want her money. But her husband was just who had me drew into prison as vagabond, and that isn't the millionth part of it. He had me housewife like a slave, with all the town looking on. He died and escaped me, but she will suffer for it. Oh, don't kill her. Don't do that. Kill. Who say anything about killing? When you want to take revenge on a petty woman, you don't kill her. No, you go far for her face and spoil it with a knife? My God, Dad, keep your opinion to yourself, my friend. You will help me. If you hesitate, I will kill you. Do you understand that? And if I have to kill you, I will kill her, and then nobody will know who did the job. Well, the quicker we do it, the better. Now, and people there know will wait until lights are out. They are hurry. With infinite care has stepped back little by little until the tongue was safe. Then he fell like the why. Down he lay till the last wise man. He began at draw and heads of old man and his sons were thrust from windows. Let me in. Mr. John, quick. It's Huckleberry Finn. I will tell you everything. Let him in, boys, and let's see what the trouble is. Please don't tell anyone that I told you where Huck first was when he got in. Please don't, I will be killed. But the window been a good friend to me sometime, and I want to tell. He must have something important to tell us, or he wouldn't behave so, said the old man. Speak out, Huck. I promise that nobody here will ever tell. Huck hurry told them what he has overheard, and a few minutes later the old man and his sons were up the hill and tiptoed towards and fenced Huck hidden behind a green log, listening anxiously. All of a sudden, there was the sound of shoes, and a cry Huck wait for the details and dashed down the hill as fast as his legs could carry him.